Right. Hare Krishna. So we are in the sixth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. We completed 5 chapters, and most likely we'll complete chapter 6 also today. We are towards the end of chapter 6. As always, I'll go over the summary of this chapter 6, quick high-level overview of chapter 6. Today, I'm not going to speak on the essence of Bhagavad Gita, so mostly we'll do that in the next session. But I'll do high level. So this chapter 6 is titled Dhyana Yoga. Dhyana means meditation. It is also called Ashtanga Yoga. In the first 5 chapters, Krishna talked about Karma Yoga. Karma means work. Yoga means a path, a means, a way to connect to the Supreme Lord. Any action we do, those actions create karmic reactions. Anything we do. But when we do with proper mindset, proper consciousness, those actions do not produce any new reactions. How to do that? Krishna explained with the 3 principles. That is, one has to work as a service to the Lord, offering the result to the Lord without expectation of anything in return, being neutral to success or failure. Do as a offering to the Lord. So when we do with that principle, the actions itself will not create any new reactions. That means we are progressing on the path of spirituality. And more importantly, when we work with proper mindset, our false ego, the so-called false ego, is subdued. We will come out of this I and my zone, ahankara, mamakara. Most of the time we'll be in I and my zone, false ego, thinking I'm the doer. Everything is happening because of me. So we looked at in detail about all those things in the first 5 chapters. In a nutshell, Krishna is saying one has to work as a service to the Lord, offering result to the Lord. Success or failure being neutral, consider as God mercy. Then one can happily work, and he can take 2 options, 2 routes. The first route is Dhyana Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga. It's a route one can practice. Why I need to take this route? What Krishna said, when you work as a karma yogi, your mind is purified and you will progress in the path of liberation. And you have 2 routes. You can take the path of Dhyana Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga. It may take many, many lifetimes. Or you can take the path of Bhakti Yoga and you can attain results quickly. The 2 routes you can take. Okay. So Krishna in the 6th chapter is teaching the Dhyana Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga. It is difficult, the process is difficult to do it, and also attaining perfection may take many, many lifetimes. Many, many lifetimes. Arjuna himself said, it is hard for me. What to speak about normal people like us. And Krishna towards the end says Bhakti is superior. So we'll see that. I'll give a little more detailed overview of this chapter now. So Krishna says, you don't have to run away from the work, you continue to the work. Whatever your responsibilities, whatever is your job profile, you continue to do that. Okay, when you do that, you'll come to the stage of a perfected soul. Okay, so there you have 2 options here, two stages of practices. That is yoga ruksha stage and yoga rudha stage, like the beginner stage of practice and advanced stage of practice. Okay, so in the beginner stage, Krishna is saying you continue to work. You don't leave your family members. You continue your work. Okay. And try to meditate. Slowly inculcate this meditation process. And when you think you are at a higher stage where you can fix your mind without disturbance for hours and days and years and months, then you can think about going to forest and work towards it. Okay. So in that process, the biggest thing one need to work on, that is in the beginning process of meditation, the biggest thing one need to work on is mind. So Krishna says mind is a friend and mind is also an enemy. A controlled mind, a controlled mind is a friend, and an uncontrolled mind is an enemy. We all know that. We'll be gone through that, those in detail in previous sessions. Okay, so you need to work on the mind. For that, you need to meditate. Krishna is saying, so Krishna is teaching Ashtanga Yoga process here. So Ashtanga Yoga process involves, initially starts with the dhyana, but it starts with the dhyana, and one has to sit in a posture, nice posture. You can see in this picture, one has to sit straight. For a person to sit straight, his body has to support. For that, he has to do some yoga and yogasanas and various practices. Then at least we can sit on the floor crisscross. Otherwise, our body will pain. It's a practice. One has to practice that, at least to sit and meditate for some time. And Krishna also teaches yama niyama process. There's a do's and don'ts. In the do's, Krishna says you don't sit too high or too low. Sit in a place on a proper seat where you can comfortably meditate, where your body wouldn't hurt you. Sit like that. And do not, Krishna says few more things. That is eating habits, sleeping habits, or activities. Krishna says you live a regulated life. Don't eat too much. If you eat too much, you cannot sit and meditate. You'll be lazy, tired, sluggish. If you eat too little while sitting in this meditation pose, you will always think about food. When is my next meal? What my wife cooks today? So yoga is not possible if you do that. And Krishna also teaches about the sleeping habits. One has to have a regulated sleeping habit in the process of yoga. And if Krishna says, if you sleep too much, if you sleep too much, your mind wouldn't sit at one place. You'll be sleepy all the time. You'll be lazy. And if you sleep too little, you'll be tired and your body needs rest. So yoga is also not possible. When you sleep too much is also not possible. When you sleep too little also, yoga not possible. So what Krishna is saying, have a regulated eating habits, have a regulated sleeping habits, and regulated actions. Not to work too much. 9 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours. If you work too much, body wouldn't support to do any yogic practices. Okay, so Krishna talks about all those things in detail. And more importantly, Krishna is saying dhyana and dharana. Meditate and fix your mind. Fix your mind. If the mind is running away on many things, many attractive things in this world, bring it back. Bring your mind back and fix it, control it, and meditate. Then Krishna is saying, when you continuously meditate, your mind is purified, all your dirt will naturally go away, and your sins also will go away. And slowly, you'll come to the stage of a self-realized soul. You can visualize your own Atma, your soul. And you can also visualize Paramatma, a super soul who is also sitting in your heart. This process Krishna is teaching, it may take many, many lifetimes. For some people, in the previous ages, they used to do this, but it is little hard. Krishna is saying you can attain the stage if you can sit and meditate like this. All your sins will be cleared. You'll come to the stage of a self-realized soul, and you can see everyone equally. You don't see people on the bodily level. Your vision itself will change when you are a self-realized soul. You will see everything as part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. When you look at people, you see as Atma, like a spirit souls. You don't discriminate between material things or spiritual thing. That is the highest stage. After hearing this, Arjuna says, Krishna, I can try, but this seems to be impractical for me. This seems to be impractical. Whatever you are teaching to me is impractical to me. It's hard for me. I can control the wind. Arjuna is saying, I can control the wind. I have the powerful weapons to control the wind, make the wind flow from different directions. I can control that, but I cannot control mind, Krishna. Arjuna is saying, I cannot control the mind, Krishna. Then Krishna replies, I acknowledge Asamshaya Mahabaho. I acknowledge, I know indeed, controlling mind is hard, but you practice. You practice and also learn detachment. Wherever your mind goes, runs behind many, many material things, try to develop detachment slowly, not overnight. Become a yogi. Slowly, develop detachment. Then you can have good control of mind and senses, and you can fix the mind. Arjuna, being in that position after hearing from Krishna, he realized it is not going to work for him. Attaining perfection is hard for him. Then he asked this question, Krishna, what is the destination of a person who starts in the beginning and leaves? He makes progress like 5% progress and dies or leaves the path, or makes good progress, 90% progress. So that was in his mind, Arjuna's mind. So he asked this question, what is the destination of a unsuccessful yogi? He starts in the beginning, but he leaves. Everybody have this question. So we'll see the answer from Krishna today. Maybe I'll ask someone to read this.
अर्जुन उवाच अयातः श्रद्धयोपेतो योगकलितमानसः अप्राप्य योगसंसिद्धिं कां गतिं कृष्ण गच्छति. Arjuna said, O Krishna, what is the destination of the unsuccessful transcendentalist who in the beginning takes to the process of self-realization with faith, but who later desists due to worldly mindedness and thus does not attain perfection in mysticism?
Thank you, Prabhu. So here Arjuna is asking about a practitioner who starts the practice of yoga, the Dhyana yoga or Ashtanga yoga. He starts it with great enthusiasm, but he leaves in the middle. Doesn't continue. What happens to that person? Arjuna's question is pretty relevant. We are also in the same boat. We start many things with great enthusiasm and but leave it in the middle. No, we don't progress. We should thank Arjuna for asking this question because Krishna is going to answer, and towards the end he gives a better solution. So good that Arjuna asked this question. So in our life also, we make resolutions, right? New Year resolution. On December 30th or 31st, we're like, okay, New Year is coming. I'll make this resolution. I'll follow this. I'll do this for the rest of the year. We'll make a great resolution. But we may not continue. Some people implement that resolution on the New Year day, on the 1st of January. After that, they wouldn't continue. But some people, they with strong determination, like if the person has strong determination, that person can continue. He continues, he makes progress, and throughout the year he practices and he makes sure the resolution he took works for him. So throughout, some people throughout the year they practice, but some people like on the January 1st day itself, they stop it. Whatever the resolutions they take, they stop it. And some people, maybe February, March, April, they stop doing everything, they don't do anything. So it is pretty natural. It is pretty natural. And also, we see some people join weight loss programs, okay, with great determination. Okay, I'll lose the weight. I'll make sure I'll follow these things. I'll make sure I do not follow these things. I'll live a regulated life and lose the weight. But again, one day, day one, day two, day three, day four, day five, after some time, because of or desires, like desires are so strong. If a person makes a resolution that he will not eat sweets because of he has a diabetes or some issue, he makes a resolution, I will not eat sweets. But if the person desire to eat the sweet is strong enough, it's too strong, he cannot resist his urges to eat, he goes and eats it. He goes and eats it. Maybe he's good at like 1 or 2 day, 3 day. Gone, he succumbs, like he go and eats it. Because of its so-called urges, the material desires to enjoying through senses. So that's what Arjuna is also asking this question, saying that a person may start the path of self-realization with a great resolution, like a New Year resolution. He takes this resolution, but due to material desires, worldly mindedness, material desires, he stops, doesn't continue. What will happen to that person? So we'll see. And Arjuna also asks two other questions. Okay. I'll read this. Text 38 and 39. Text 38. O mighty on Krishna, does not such a man who is bewildered from the path of transcendence fall away from both spiritual and material success and perish like a raven cloud with no position in any sphere? 39. This is my doubt, O Krishna, and I ask you to dispel it completely. But for you, no one is to be found who can destroy this doubt. So Arjuna is asking this question. A person started and he stopped in between. He's not even progressing materially. Well, let me mute. Okay. He's not even making any spiritual advancements. Nothing is going on spiritually. But also materially also he's not doing his duties correctly. In the name of spirituality, he's not even doing his material duties. So Arjuna's mindset here is like a person can renounce, like to take the path of Ashtanga yoga, he can renounce, he can go to forest and meditate and attain spiritual realization. He went to forest, but not taking care of his family members and not even succeeding in the path of Ashtanga yoga. Will he get sin? Not doing anything? Not progressing anywhere? Like materially also is not doing his duty, and spiritually also he stopped doing his duties. Arjuna says, like, will this person be like a riven cloud? Like if you see the bunch of clouds, one cloud will get separated and and goes itself. So Arjuna is asking this question: what happens to the person? In short, what happens to the person? Will he get any sin? Not progressing spiritually. So Arjuna is asking, only Krishna, only you can dispel my doubt. You tell me what is good for me, what is beneficial for me. Only you can clear my doubt. In the second chapter also, Arjuna has the same thing. Krishna, I surrender to you. You tell me what is good for me. So same thing. Arjuna is saying almost similar thing here, same words here. Now you tell me what is good for me. Only you can clear my doubt. So we'll see why what's going on in Arjuna's mind, right? So what Krishna said so far, you need to live a regulated life. Wherever mind goes, you bring it back. Fix the mind on Atma, fix the mind on Paramatma. Then you will attain self-realization. Then you will attain Paramatma realization. Arjuna's concern was like it is so difficult. The biggest obstacle is mind. Krishna says you practice and learn detachment. So that's why Arjuna is asking this question. And he's requesting Krishna to speak and dispel the doubt, clear the doubt. What will happen to the person? He starts the spirituality, the path of Ashtanga Yoga, and stops, doesn't progress. What will happen? Now Krishna is going to respond this. Very beautiful verses. Last someone to read.
Shri Bhagavan Partha Naiveha Namutra विनाशस्तस्य विद्यते न हि कल्याणकृत् कश्चिद् दुर्गतिं तथा गच्छति. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Son of Pritha, a transcendentalist engaged in auspicious activities does not meet with destruction either in this world or in the spiritual world. One who does good, my friend, is never overcome by evil.
Thank you, Prabhu. So Krishna starts speaking. Now Krishna is ready to clear the doubt of Arjuna. What will happen to the person? He starts the spirituality, start the Ashtanga Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, meditation. He stops in between. Krishna is saying there is no loss. There is no loss. You're not going to lose anything. In this world or whatever, in this lifetime or next lifetime also, you will not lose anything. So what does that mean? Krishna speaks that in next verse. I'll ask someone to read English, 41 and 42 both.
The unsuccessful yogi, after many years of enjoyment on the planets of the pious living entities, is born into a family of righteous people or into a family of rich aristocracy. Text 42. Or if unsuccessful after long practice of yoga, he takes his birth in a family of transcendentalists who are surely great in wisdom. Certainly, such a birth is rare in this world.
Thank you, Prabhu. So Krishna is answering in these two verses. The verse 41, he says about the unsuccessful yogi who stops in between after a short practice, little bit of practice. Maybe he's practicing for a couple of days or months or years and stops in between, right? Short practice. Krishna is saying there is no loss. Your spiritual progress is rewarded. It's a good news. It's a good news for all of us. Krishna is saying any spiritual progress you make, that is rewarded. What is the reward? You will get heaven. We'll look at it one by one, slowly. So Krishna is saying there is no loss. There is no loss. Whatever the spiritual progress you make, it is rewarded. The question comes like, are we making any progress? We have 24 hours a day. Hmm? Half of the time we use for sleeping and taking care of bodily needs. 50% of the time is gone, and rest of the 50%, taking care of family members and office work, or what other work to earn money, engaged in many things. Hmm? Within the time we have, we can see ourselves like how much we are practicing, how much time we are putting ourselves for self-realization or liberation. Are we putting our whatever the time left after sleeping, after taking our family, after job hours, whatever the time we have left, are we again using it for sense enjoyment? Of course, that is needed, right? Like to relax. But human life is getting wasted. Durlabham Manushya Janma, right? Prahlada says, Durlabham Manushya Janma. One attains the human body after going through many lifetimes, but it's very unfortunate he misutilizes, doesn't utilize for its purpose. The purpose of human life is to attain liberation, break the cycle of birth and death. If a person wants to enjoy through senses all life, no problem. Krishna is not saying no. No problem. You can do that. You'll develop more desires. You'll take birth again to fulfill those desires. And you go to kindergarten, learn ABCs, and do PhD, and earn good money and die. And it goes on. In the pursuit of happiness, we'll develop more desires. And because of those unfulfilled desires, we come back and continue our life. It's going to continue. But But if we make any spiritual progress that includes hearing Bhagavad Gita or meditating, doing pranayama, trying to control our mind and senses, not just living a life to enjoy through senses, but controlling the mind and senses, fixing the mind on Atma. If you believe in the God, want to bring God in our life, that is also fine, that is great. One can practice meditating on the Lord, chanting the holy names of the Lord, Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, or any mantra you like. Those are all spiritual practices. Krishna is saying here, any of the spiritual practices are rewarded. Nothing will go waste. What is the reward? Krishna is saying, while practicing, you made a 20% progress and left it, but the 20% progress, you will be rewarded. If you have, what is the reward? If you have any material desires which still need to be fulfilled, which you cannot fulfill, if you are unable to fulfill, you can fulfill in the heaven. Krishna is saying such a person, if he makes at least some practice, little bit of practice, he will get heaven, because he's using his life, his human body for highest purpose. Is very important thing. If a person using this human body, human life for its purpose, self-realization, Krishna is saying he will grant us, heaven, heavenly planet, where a person can materially fulfill his desires. And after that, after enjoying, again, will be sent back. Will get a human body. Human body is guaranteed. It's very important thing. Human body is guaranteed. Will get a human life to continue from 21% onwards. There is no loss. Krishna is saying there is no loss in your consciousness. If you can practice the control of mind, control of senses, making progress in the path of bhakti, devotion, devoted to the God, nothing goes waste. Nothing goes waste. And here, one more point Krishna is saying about the family. It's a very important thing. So, to practice spirituality, the family and family members have to be supportive. If parents are saying, If you're meditating, sitting and meditating, if parents are saying, what are you doing? Go and play, have fun with your friends. or or if a person is married, if a person is sitting and meditating, chanting the holy names of the Lord, if his wife says, hey, yeah, you Buddha ho gaya kya? Or you become Buddha, or you become mad, or you don't want me to live with you. Maybe you'll leave me and go to forest one day. These things will happen, right? So Krishna is saying it's a very, very important thing. If a person is practicing spirituality, making progress in spirituality, Krishna is saying, he will put us in a family members which are supportive, nice parents who help us to progress, nice family members, nice wife or nice husband who will help us in the path of spirituality, in the devotion or Ashtanga yoga or any yoga will help us. They may or may not in the beginning, but eventually they will help you, they'll support you. No worries. And you can continue from where you left off. From 21% onwards, you can continue and you can still attain perfection. There is no loss, Arjuna. And last in the 42 was, and this is a person who has practiced yoga, meditation or devotion for a long time. For a long time. Like 50 years or so, or 80 years, with good determination, good practice, sadhana. Basically, Krishna is referring to Ashtanga Yoga only, not Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga hasn't spoken yet. He will speak in the rest after 7th chapter. He'll speak Bhakti Yoga. This is about the person Ashtanga Yoga who is meditating. We see in this world people meditate, right? Like there are different schools who teach us, like you meditate on the point. They'll put a dot on the board. They'll say you meditate on the dot, or you meditate on the fire, or you meditate on the candle, or you meditate on some picture. There are different ways. So Krishna is saying those kind of practices in the beginning level, right? But if a person continues to practice the Ashtanga Yoga, whatever Krishna taught, for a long time, 80 years, or good time, and if he did not attain self-realization, like one will see himself like his Atma. He can see that is a self-realization one would attain. Human body, only in human body that is possible. So if a person did not attain that self-realization, what will happen? Krishna is saying, it is because he made 80% progress. It is because he made 80% progress. Next life is human body guaranteed. And his family members are also great souls. There's a difference between 41 and 42. Krishna is saying, not just supportive, they are great souls. Your family members are also self-realized souls. But Krishna adds a point that birth is very rare. Such a birth, rarely you'll see that. It's not like everybody will come to that platform, but rarely you'll see that. Such a birth is very rare. Okay. So in a nutshell, 41 and 42, 41 is saying if a person makes a little bit of practice in the yoga, he will be rewarded. He will be given heavenly planet. He can, whatever the enjoyment he wants to enjoy, he can enjoy and come back. And his family members also are supportive. He can progress from there. And if he makes good practice, he will be put in a nice family. They are also self-realized souls. And within few years, he can attain liberation. Okay. So let's talk about transmigration. When we leave our body or die, when we die, what happens? What Krishna is saying is your consciousness will carry. If you make 20% of spiritual progress, that wouldn't go waste. If we think ourselves a body, if we think ourselves a body, when we die, everything is gone. Everything is gone, right? But we are not this body. We are Atma. We are Atma. What happens when we die? We'll see that here. I know I showed this picture many times in the past. So we are a body. We have different levels of coverings. One is the gross body. You see this gross body? So gross body is something we can touch, we can feel. We can touch, we can feel, okay, this is my face, this is my head. This gross body. As per scriptures, this gross body is made of 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether, material elements. We'll see in detail in the 7th chapter where Krishna talks about it. I'll go through in detail. Yeah, this is a gross body. And we also have a subtle body, Sukshma Sharira. Gross body is Sthula Sharira. Subtle body is Sukshma Sharira. Subtle body. Subtle means that which we can't see. We can't see. Which is made of these elements: mind, intelligence, false ego, and various pranavayas, and so. This is subtle body. And another inner covering, we have soul and Atma, that is Satchitananda, all knowledgeable, all bliss, all cognizant, and we also have super soul. So we'll go from the backwards. Like we have in our body, we have a soul. Basically, we are a soul. Along with us, we have a Paramatma, super soul. On top of it, we have two coverings. One covering is a subtle covering, and one is a gross covering. And when we die, when we leave the body, we leave the gross body only. We leave the gross body only, which is made of these 5 elements. And we are burnt or buried, either way. Either way, burnt or buried. The elements will get mixed into the nature also, which is made of these elements. Towards the earth, and will be our gross body is mixed into this, deteriorated into these material elements. But what happens when we die? We'll transmigrate from one body to another body through subtle body. So along with soul, along with Atma, we also have a subtle body will transmigrate. So let's see what is this subtle body, right? Subtle body is made of mind, intelligence, and false ego. This subtle body carries consciousness or impressions or past life impressions. The impressions we have been carrying over from many, many lifetimes, everything will be there. All the database will be there of our previous lifetimes, right? And why we don't remember in our next lifetime? Because that is covered by Maya. Okay, that is the thing. But the data is still there, not no loss. And more importantly, any progress we make, right? Like if a person is playing, practicing piano, is a good piano player, he will be naturally attracted in the next lifetime also, learning piano. Within, we'll see like 5 years old kid, 5 years old kid is super smart. He can play a piano. It because of past life only, past life impressions. He had learned in many, many lifetimes. So you can understand that what Krishna is saying, the spiritual progress may we make, controlling the mind, controlling the senses, fixing the mind, meditating on the Lord, all those things will carry over, will come along. Nothing will go waste. Nothing will go waste. Okay, life lesson in short. Spiritual progress never goes away. Never goes away. It just pushes us on the way. It's like a jet car. It pushes us on our way to liberation. We'll be pushed. So will carry over our spiritual consciousness in our next lifetime also. Nothing get wasted. Okay, I'll ask someone to read this 43 and 44.
On taking such
Good.
On taking such a birth, he revives the divine consciousness of his previous life, and he again tries to make further progress in order to achieve complete success, O son of Kuru. Text 44. By virtue of the divine consciousness of his previous life, he automatically becomes attracted to the yogic principles, even without seeking them. Such an inquisitive transcendentalist stands always above the ritualistic principles of the scriptures.
Thank you, Bhavan. So what Krishna is saying, there is no loss. Whatever the spiritual progress you make, there is no loss. You can attain perfection in this lifetime, or in the next lifetime also you can continue from where you left off. It's not like our PTOs. In some companies, PTOs, all the PTOs are carry forwarded. In some companies, they don't carry forward. Okay? So some companies who don't carry forward PTOs are like or material possessions. We have good house, so much, many things we accumulated, nothing will come. What are the things we accumulated in a gross level, okay, gross level, what are we accumulated? Nice house, nice, so much, tons of gold, tons of diamonds, what are the things it is? Right? Nothing will come along. All the gross we have to leave, but subtle things will carry over. The spiritual progress we make, on the subtle level will be carried over. So what Krishna is saying, in the next lifetime, what Krishna said in previously, he will take a birth again and continue. So what happens in the next lifetime? He will continue from where he left off. And one more thing Krishna adds, he's naturally attracted. He's naturally attracted to yoga. We will see in this material thing also, right? If a person is making, I gave the example, like if a person is practicing chess, if a person is practicing chess, he has a strong desire to learn chess. He practices every day, goes to, even though if his parents doesn't like, he goes, or parents push him towards learning the chess. He started learning chess. After 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, he's a really good chess player. Because of his karma, he born again. In previous life, it is because of his expertise in the chess. He's naturally attracted to chess in the next lifetime also. We'll see. We'll see kids, small kids, they play chess very well than bigger kids, right? Because they have the skills. The consciousness is being carried over. Their skills are being carried over. Subtle skills, okay? Subtle skills. Not the material possessions. Our diamonds will not carry over. Gold will not be carried over. But our spiritual progress or any material skills will be carried over from one lifetime to another lifetime. So the material skills, like any chess, or a person is playing tennis, within 5 years, 10 years of age, he becomes expertise. We know Pragnananda, right? Best chess player, or many tennis players. Like within small kids, they are super smart because of with their past life, right? And they're also naturally attracted. We don't need to tell them. There are many examples we can look at. Some kids are naturally attracted and they become expertise in less short time because of their past life impressions. Similarly, if a person practices spirituality, practices yoga, practices controlling mind and senses, practices devotion, bhakti, or anything, nothing will go waste. In the next lifetime, he is naturally attracted to work on liberation, work on meditation, work on liberation, right? Work on bhakti or devotion. The spiritual inclination will always remain. will always remain. Atato Brahma Jignasa, Atato Brahma Jignasa. The Brahma Jignasa. Jignasa is like, intense desire to attain or learn something. What is this world? There should be something else. I need to know. Beyond this life, there should be something else. The Jignasa, the Brahma Jignasa. I want to know what is the supreme higher reality. Brahma Jignasa. That strong desire, everybody has it. Because we have been going through many lifetimes, we have been practicing various types of spirituality. The Brahma Jignasa is there. That is the reason we are showing spiritual inclination towards, or we are showing inclination towards learning spirituality or learning Bhagavad Gita, and you're all attending just for that reason, because we have that spiritual inclination. In a subtle level, we have in our past lives also. That hankering is still there. That hankering is still there to learn about this Gita. We can see many people, there are so many people, nobody shows interest. Almost 50% of the people do not even show any interest. Is because of this only. But some people really show interest, some people really make advancements, some people become expertise, in any of the things because of their past life. They had that Brahma Jignasa, that spiritual intense desire to learn, to attain perfection, to attain liberation, the Brahma Jignasa. Okay, so nothing will go waste. Even in our next lifetime also, we can continue and progress. So another example we can say, we are studying something, we are reading a book, and we go to bed. After next day morning, do we forget everything? No, we remember. It stays. It stays. If a person has a weak memory, that's a different thing. But mostly it stays. It remains in our mind. If you are going from the St. Louis to Florida, okay, on the car, on flight, or whatever the mode, we see many things. Many impressions are stored in our mind. Many impressions are stored in our mind. While coming back, also we can reflect upon, recollect. It remains. We don't lose anything. We don't forget everything. It is because of that ability only we are surviving here, right? We know our family members, we know our job, we know many things. We don't forget, right? So many things retain in our memory. The same thing in a subtle level, in our next lifetime also, we remember. We don't forget anything. We will be naturally inclined towards spirituality and liberation. That's what Krishna is saying. We'll move on. Okay, life lesson. Important life lesson. Consciousness is recoverable. Consciousness is recoverable, but time isn't. Time isn't. If we make any spiritual progress in this lifetime or next lifetime, we can continue. But if we are not making any progress, and we are wasting time, we can't go back. Because within human life, it is guaranteed we can attain liberation. Yes, that is true. But if we are wasting time and not working towards liberation and not utilizing this human body for its purpose to attain liberation, if we are wasting time, time is not recoverable. Okay. So 2 verses and we'll finish in 5 minutes. I'll ask someone to read.
And when the yogi engages himself with sincere endeavor in making further progress, being washed of all contaminations, then ultimately achieving perfection after many births of practice, he attains the supreme goal. Text 46. A yogi is greater than the ascetic, greater than the empiricist, and greater than the fruitive worker. Therefore, O Arjuna, in all circumstances, be a yogi.
Thank you, Paul. So, whatever the spiritual progress we make will carry over, nothing will be lost. Krishna also said we'll be given nice facilities, nice family members who support us, and we develop natural inclination towards spirituality and practice and attain perfection. Krishna is saying no loss in such a person. By here Krishna is talking about Ashtanga Yoga, many births. It's very, very important, okay? Not to be confused with the Bhakti Yoga practice. Okay? Here Krishna is talking about the Ashtanga Yoga practice. That is a subject matter in 6th chapter, okay? So what happens if he makes 20%, 50%, or whatever the progress he makes, he'll get a nice body, nice family members, and he continues to practice, and he can attain. Krishna is saying, yes, you can attain liberation after many births of practice. So this process is Ashtanga Yoga process. Okay. Not Bhakti Yoga process. Bhakti Yoga process is easy. Then Krishna is going to talk about that in 7 to 12 chapter. We'll see what it is. Okay, text 46, Krishna is saying, such a yogi, most of the time we are bhogis. I'm sorry not to criticize anyone, there are yogis also. But bhogi means like if a person is living a life only for enjoyment, right? Sensual enjoyment. There is nothing wrong in that. One can enjoy, one can develop desires, one can take birth, no problem. But a person working towards liberation, such a person is called a yogi. If he starts controlling mind and senses, he works towards liberation, is called a yogi. And Krishna here in this verse saying, that person is a lot better. He is super better than a Gnana yogi or a, in a yogi is mentally speculating, or a fruitive worker, a karma kandi, right? A person is rich. It's a very important thing. A person is following the dharma, is doing his duties, taking care of family members, and doing his job, whatever his job. He's following his dharma. He's not cheating anyone, not deceiving anyone. He's doing his dharma. Krishna thinks a yogi is a lot better than that person. It doesn't mean that the yogi will not follow dharma. Yogi also follow dharma, but Krishna is saying such a person is greater. Yogi is always greater. Okay, this is the last verse in this chapter.
Yoginam api sarvesham matgatena antaratmanah Shraddhavan bhajate yo mam same yukta tamo mataha. And of all yogis, the one with great faith, who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself, and renders transcendental loving service to me, he is the most intimately united with me in yoga, and is the highest of all. That is my opinion.
Well, so Krishna, after speaking all these things to Arjuna, looking at Arjuna, Arjuna doesn't want to take many births, many lifetimes, and it is hard for him to practice Ashtanga Yoga. That requires one has to sit and meditate and hours and days and years, lifetimes. That's the practice of Ashtanga Yoga. But Krishna is looking at Arjuna's condition, looking at our condition. We are also like Arjuna only, right? He's saying a beautiful verse here. A yogi who meditates on me, who fixes mind on me, who is immersed in me, such a yogi is the highest of all yogi. So this is a seed verse for next coming chapters, that is Bhakti Yoga chapters. What Krishna is saying is, Arjuna, don't worry too much about this Ashtanga Yoga. That is a path I spoke about. It is an option you can choose. If you want to have an adventure ride in your life, if you want to have an adventure in your life, Explore yourself. You can take that path, or you can take the path of bhakti, devotion. Devotion means love. Just like how we love our children, how we love our father, a pure loving devotion towards the Supreme Lord. It is another path. This is another path one can take. The path of Bhakti Yoga, devotion. It's a beautiful section coming. Bhakti Yoga chapters. If a person wants to love God, if a person wants to love God, he needs to know everything about the Lord. Just like if I want to love my father, if I know more about my father qualities, my father greatness, how my father helps me, how my father helps everybody, all the good things about my father, I develop natural attraction towards my father. Similarly, if we know everything about the Supreme Lord, how great the Supreme Lord is, how great the Supreme Lord is, all the qualities of the Supreme Lord, how God helps everybody or everyone, everything about the Supreme Lord, this creation, many things Krishna speaks about in Bhakti Yoga chapters, right? When we know more about the Lord, we naturally develop love towards the Supreme Lord. This love is not like a material love, like I give you $10 or I'll take care of you, you take care of me. It's not like a transactional thing. Right? We see people like, I go to the God because I have something, right? So that's a good, nothing wrong in that, but that's not a selfless love. Krishna is talking about a selfless love. Hmm? For a person to do selfless love or devotion towards the Lord, one has to know everything about the Lord. So Krishna talks about himself and drives Arjuna towards bhakti, devotion. We will also go with Arjuna because we are also in the same boat like Arjuna. So this is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. I'll finish in 1 minute. This verse says, among all types of yogis, all kind of perfected souls, if a person is devoted, a person is devoted Narayana Paranaha, if a person is devoted to the Lord, such a person is called a yogi, and it is very rare. Is very rare. The essence is not everybody, inclined towards the Lord. They go many practices, but and try various things to attain perfection or liberation. But a great soul is the one who is devoted, selflessly devoted to the Lord. Such a person is very rare. And we can do that. We are not the rarest persons, or we can be the rarest persons, right? By learning everything about the Lord and bringing God in our life. Okay, this is the last slide. Life lesson. Bhakti transforms our solitary struggle with the mind into a cooperative conquest. You don't have to struggle with the mind. The bhakti itself transforms our life. We will see in the Bhakti Yoga chapters how. And the last thing, Bhagavad Gita raises our consciousness from Jagat, Jiva, and Jagadisha. Jagat means material things. We are all conscious about material things, material opulences, material possessions. From that second chapter onwards, Krishna is instructing Arjuna and everybody towards the soul, Atma. Our consciousness is elevated now from material things to spiritual things, knowing about ourselves. And we're going to see in the upcoming chapters about Jagadisha, that is the Lord, everything about the Lord. We are raising our consciousness one by one, step by step. Okay, well, with that, I'll end here.